pretty. Come along. Hey, garden gals and guys, it's Steph with Tiny's Garden, and today is Friday, March 24th, Friday, March 24th. We're about 2 days away from 5 weeks until my last frost date. Wow, that came fast. But I have a ton of seeds to start. There's a couple things I recently found that I didn't realize I had that I need to get into soil blocks or cell trays ASAP. Like all of these packets of Snapdragons I just found. There's probably about 8, and that's a little late to do these, but I'm going to do them anyways because I love Snapdragons and we can make it work. We can make it work. With soil blocks, I have the ability to start them a little later and they'll catch up because they grow a little quicker. At least that's what I'm told by reading and researching about it. So let's hope that's the case. I also have all of these piles. Thick piles that can be started at this point. This is kind of like tax season for seeds starting. There's a lot to do, a lot to sow. But oh my, isn't that going to be fun when those all grow? So I'm going to get started and do a bunch of soil blocks and cell trays first. I don't think I'm going to get all of these sown today, but I at least want to get through a decent portion of them to feel like I'm back on track a little bit. And really, I'm not off track. A lot of these are start between 4 and 6 weeks before the last frost date. And I'm right there, so it really is okay. I usually like to space it out a little more, but that's all right. You know, planning ahead gives you that little breathing room of if you do get behind a little bit, you're not really behind because you're still within that window, if that makes sense. So I do need to get the Snapdragons in though, because those generally take a little longer. But like I said, the soil blocks are saving me there. And to add to that, I need to pot the rest of these up. Look how good these are doing, being potted up. So that's on the to-do list as well. And as if I needed any more to do, I want to get my hoop house up. And I need to get soil and compost into some of the raised beds to do that. So the list is long this time of year, friends, isn't it? So let's just dig in and get started with something for us that's going to be soil blocking first. The greenhouse is looking packed. I did move my sweet pea trays out as well as my Iceland poppies. Look how great they look. I didn't hard them off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not harden them off properly by slowly bringing them out a few hours at a time over the course of a week or so. I just jumped the gun and brought them out. These look just a little bit stressed in their coloring. They're a little lighter green, but overall I think they're okay. And these guys are still growing really nicely, and these are the ones that I actually started in the greenhouse, which is why they're so much shorter, but they look really nice and healthy. That green is a little more vibrant. So the ranunculus are coming along, looking great. Over here, I don't think this side gets quite as much sun, but they're still coming through. And then I did bring my other ones up as well and potted a lot of those up, the ones that were in the fridge. And I've even got some that are growing right here in the tray. See that there? And there's a lot of growth on them now. There wasn't much in my update video, my seedling tour, but just from being out here a few days, they have exploded. So those are just gonna stay in here. I'm not gonna waste time potting them up because all of these are going to go out into that hoop house that I make hopefully by the end of the weekend. So that's a little side update there, but I need to bring this tub out that has the sweet peas on it so that I can actually make my soil blocks. So I gotta rearrange a little bit and then we'll rock and roll. Another reason why I need a bigger greenhouse. Don't we all? And then there's times when you feel like you've lost your mind. I cannot find these trays for my soil blocking. I just did this one the other week and I've looked wherever I could think they could be and I can't find them. Great. So I'll use an extra tray that I have and then I'll look some more. And now I also see I'm almost out of my Vermont compost. So a little unprepared today, but we'll get back on track. I'm to the point now where I just eyeball this, but really it's 3 parts soil to 1 part water. And I've learned you want it to be pretty wet, pretty soupy looking. And I do actually have a new soil blocking recipe I want to try that I got from Bree from Blossom and Branch Farm, watching one of her videos. I'll put a picture on the screen of what this potting soil looks like, but it's the Fox Farms Coco Loco, and she adds wool pellets to it, which is like a natural organic fertilizer. And of course I ordered my wool pellets. My Fox Farm Coco Loco came, and the wool pellets say they delivered on March 3rd. And they never did. So I just put a request in to get another one of those. So mixing those 2 together and then soil blocking them would be an option too. I just don't have the wool pellets. So I'm a little bit at a standstill, but we'll use what we have today and go from there. I added a little more water because you want to see some of that water come up through that soil block. So that looks better. All done. Okay, back inside, I've got my soil blocks here, the varieties of Snapdragon I'm starting. And I'm not gonna do the same of all of these because some I liked less than others. So for example, Rembrandt Snapdragon, which is a Hudson Valley Seed Company one, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Snapdragon Day and Night from Botanical Interest, I liked it, I didn't love it. They were a little weaker for me. I'll do a few of those, not too many. And then the rest of these, I'll use all of these seeds. These are all from Johnny's Seeds. So we have Opus 3 Early Bronze, Chantilly Bronze, Costa Apricot, and Potomac Orange. And I'm glad I found these because my last tray that I sowed, some of the germination was really spotty on the bottom. Let me show you in case you didn't see my last video. Right here on this bottom row, especially in the middle, this one was the Sherbet Tone Chantilly mix from Floret. Really didn't do very great. Costa Apricot, which is really disappointing because that's one of my favorite. And over here is not too bad, but I want some more. So first thing I do is label my tray with a garden marker and painter's tape so I know which block has which variety. Then I use a ramekin to dump my seeds in. Hi, beautiful babes! I'm so glad I found these. Snapdragons is one of my favorite cut flowers. They smell amazing. They're great performers. Really happy about that. This might be last year's seeds. Shouldn't it say on here what it's packed for? Doesn't seem like that's 50 seeds. Either way, hopefully they grow. Then I take a chopstick, lightly lick the end of it, and that's how I put them into the blocks. I am going to do 1 per block, or 1 to 2 per block, and then move on to the next variety. I'm gonna get these all done, put vermiculite on them, and then I'll come back and show you the end. One more thing on these guys. I just double checked the back of the seed packets and light is required for germination. I'm wondering if in that bottom row, some of them didn't get enough light. I don't know that that's the case because the top row was fine, but I'm gonna do a really light layer of vermiculite and I'm just going to lightly set these seeds on top of the block. I'm not really pushing them in. And hopefully we get better germination on this round. FYI, the first round I did was great. Look at that. Loving it. But that tray I showed you before is just a little lagging. Okay, I am in the middle of these and I just finished with the Snapdragons and I got through 5 squares because that was last year's seed. As I went, I could tell that the package had been opened and there just weren't as many seeds in there as there were supposed to be. So that was last year's seed stock. I'm glad I can use that up this year. But I'm also going to plant in my remaining 3 blocks, Scabiosa. This is a great one to pair with the Snapdragons because it also needs light for germination and needs to be planted 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost date. So this will work out great right here as well. I'm doing the Fama White for 2 blocks. That is my favorite. just gorgeous in bouquets and in the garden. And then also Black Knight. Those are my top 2 Scabiosas. So I'm gonna finish out with those. And to be accurate, I double checked and the Fama White is 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date is when you should plant that. And the Black Knight is 4 to 6. So a little bit of a difference there, but I'm still fine on planting both of them now. And you can see the difference in the seed side. The Fama is right back here, much bigger. Hopefully they'll be okay in these little cells. Now time for vermiculite. Just a light layer. And that's all I'm going to put on this tray here, so light will aid in germination for both of these seeds. Last step, putting some plastic on as a humidity dome. And there we go. And these will go on the heat mat in the basement under the grow lights, and we'll hopefully see some little seedlings in the next 7 to 14 days. I'm going to stop that video here for today. I've got to find those other soil blocking trays, transplant my Lysianthus, all sorts of things. Again, it's tax season. Get the hoop house ready to get put up and get the ranunculus out there. So I'm going to stop it right here for today, but please comment below and let me know anything that you're seed sowing right now. I know it's tax season, so a bunch of things are going into the soil blocks or cell trays. I guess it kind of actually is tax season in real life too. Well, that's interesting. But it's go time. It's go time in the garden world. That's what I mean. So I hope all your garden chores are coming along, all your seed sowing, all your hoop house preparedness, and anything else you're doing. Happy planting, everybody. We will see you in the next one. Don't forget to comment below and tell me how everything is going. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Duh! Subscribe to my channel to follow along with all things garden. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!